This is Kavita from Sitare. I'm at the Home of Hope annual gala fundraiser in Fremont, California. We're waiting for distinguished actress Shabana Azmi to arrive and lend her support for the Home of Hope and Mijwan Village project. Welcome to the Bay Area, Shabana ji, and it's really nice to have you here. Can you tell us about the Mijwan project and how you're involved with it?
My father, the well-known Urdu poet and film lyricist Kaifi Azmi, was born in a tiny village called Mijwa in Azamgarh, Uttar Pradesh, India. And he had a paralytic stroke in 1973. He was all of 52 years old. And that stroke led to his losing his arm and his leg. He decided to get on top of the situation, went back to Mijwa, realized that it was a village frozen in time. There was no road. There was obviously no electricity. There was nothing. It was a tiny village of 500 people. And he decided to work towards that village. He then set up, the first thing he did was to get the road built. Then he set up schools for girls because he believed that it was in the empowerment of the girl child that one could see transformation and change. He also set up a computer center. He set up a employment generation center for young girls whereby they are taught sewing and embroidery, particularly chicken embroidery. And what that does in the process is these girls who are in a patriarchal society really looked upon as liabilities. He turned that and made them become assets. And after he passed away, the onus of Mijwa Welfare Society lies on my shoulder. And the work that I do is largely centered around the girl child and women.
How does the project help women? What are some of the skills that they're learning? How are they becoming empowered with the project?
Well, the fact that they receive training in enhancing their skills, they do really very extraordinary embroidery. Their work is very, very good. But it's a really tiny village. So at the moment, they are supplying their stuff according to orders that are got from another organization called Seva. And this is where Home of Hope, which is a Bay Area organization led by Dr. Nilima Sabarwal, who in 1997 came back from India feeling that she must do something for the benefit and set up this. So I met with her, and they have been very generous in funding this particular program of ours, where in the next 5 years we hope to see a transformation where these women themselves will be creating the product and selling it themselves and becoming partners in progress rather than just being suppliers for a contract thing. And obviously that leads to a great sense of self-esteem, to a sense of enhancement. Their families start viewing them completely differently. That leads to a whole kind of self-confidence, which brings about change not only in the girl herself personally, but in the family that she's going to raise later.
How can somebody, an entrepreneur here that wants to maybe order napkins or other things, order tablecloths or anything that the women are making, how can they get a hold of the project or somebody that they can help them out?
I'm very glad you've asked that question because in fact that's the kind of help that I am looking for, because here are these very talented people and what they need is a market. They need somebody to be able to give them that order. Home of Hope, which is based in the Bay Area, Dr. Nilima Sabarwal and Nalini Bhatt. Nalini Bhatt is the coordinator for the Mijwa project, and getting in touch with Nalini Bhatt would be the surest way of making sure that people can see the kind of work that the girls are doing and what are the possibilities, because both Nilima and Nalini Bhatt visit Mijma once a year, and they know exactly what kind of progress it is.
What is the manpower like of the Home of Hope Mijwan project?
Well, it's baby steps. It's really baby steps at the moment, because there are barely about 200 girls that are walking. But you see, what will happen is, if they get large orders, then what they can do is that they can also get girls from close by villages, because that's how it works. You know, you source out people close by, you give them training, and if they know that there is a ready market, then they will be able to deliver. And but they have a very fine hand for embroidery, particularly for chicken embroidery, which is the kind of thing over here in summer, for napkins, for linen, for tablecloth, for all of that. It's possible.
Like, is there anything important that I haven't asked you that you think is important that needs to get out? Any information about the project?
Well, firstly, I would like to take this on a larger scale and say that India is a country that lives in several centuries and lives in contradictions. So, on the one hand, we have empowered women. We had a woman prime minister. Today, you have many women in big positions. You look at politicians, all of that. But on the other hand, it's also true that because we are basically a patriarchal society, there is discrimination against girls. That mindset needs to change. The very sad fact is that female feticide is being practiced today in the 21st century. Where does all this come from? It comes from looking at girls as burdens, because it comes from a structure where, because it was largely a feudal society, you didn't want to part with your property to the girl, because she would bring in an outsider into this property. Now times are changing, and we need to empower girls so that they don't get caught in this web. The first thing that we can do, that's why, is provide education to the girl child. But often, although everybody says that you need to provide education, people don't look at the quality of education that is required. And oftentimes, education merely reinforces gender divides and makes the girl buy into the theory that the man is superior and the girl is not. That's very important that you don't get into that. Yeah, you bring about change. Because I really believe that with the empowerment of women, power equations will change. So that it's not about the powerful bullying the weak, but it will be about transforming the very notion of power itself, so that it becomes about sharing. And I think that can happen if we empower the woman and empower her in a way where she challenges present social structures.
Thank you so much for being on Sitare, and thank you so much for your time for the Home of Hope projects and also for the Mijwan project. We really thank you so much.